All right, all right. We are back, episode 12. Can you believe it, Jared? By the way, I know you don't see Coach Mac. Coach Mac is on his way, just in a bit of traffic on his way back home. We episode 12 of New York Football Talks is your host, Andre Johnson. Of course, I'm not alone. Does he even need an introduction? The man who has named the miracle on McDonald. You have coined the term, Jared. You're
Oh,
gonna etch your name in
nah,
history,
I
man.
think someone else might have got it
Who
first.
beat you to that? Who beat you to that?
I think someone got it first. I'm gonna give credit. I'm gonna give credit to someone else. I don't know who did it, but I did
Come
see
on,
it.
man.
I did
That's
see it
yours, Jared.
somewhere.
You made it hot, Jared.
And I was like, "That's a sick name. I'm gonna have to put it on the Instagram right there." Oh man, yeah. I was gonna say this is gonna be right off the bat, right up. Oh, we got
Listen,
Harold Marshall
Harold
off
Marshall,
of his
what's good,
performance.
my guy?
We're gonna talk
Listen,
about we're gonna talk about that.
we are gonna we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna talk to you in person, my guy. Nice to see you in the chat. Nice to see you in the 3A championship. We're not even gonna stall for Mac. Um, First things first, Erica, nice to see you in the chat. First things first, I want to start off with an apology. That apology is to Brooklyn Tech. I was
I
not
know,
familiar
me
with your
too.
game. I was not familiar with your game.
Crazy
Brooklyn Tech.
man.
We usually do the 3A later in the show. Of course, we're going to go over the 4A and all the craziness that happened in the 4A, but have to start there because, I want to make sure they see that. My guy Wheeler in the chat, man.
Coach
Yeah.
Wheeler.
Yo, Jared, I can't describe to you what it was like being on the field when that
Yeah,
happened.
it
I cannot
it looked
just
ridiculous.
like I actually couldn't believe what was happening because like when I'm on the live, first of all, I'm literally a dinosaur. I'm holding this phone. I don't even know how to use Instagram. It was literally my first time ever on Instagram Live.
Oh, and I do that.
Like you like using it myself.
Yeah,
And like the kick gets blocked, and I'm like, "Oh, it's blocked." And you figure someone's just gonna jump on it and it's just
yeah.
gonna go to overtime. So I
Hmm.
didn't say anything, and I'm just watching the ball like matriculate up the field.
Yeah.
Then I just see E-Hall. It was literally it was
Hmm.
one of the craziest plays I've seen. Because I've seen some crazy stuff in this league. So first off, Brooklyn Tech, nice and early. We all got that wrong. Y'all were in the chat
Yeah. Oh for
talking to us.
3, right? All of us. Yeah. Mac too.
Yeah, over 3. We all picked
Damn.
APR.
Damn. Wow.
So
Yeah.
huge shout out to them. Talk about feeling, people say we don't talk about people. Brooklyn Tech, I have to admit, we don't talk about Brooklyn Tech enough, and they came and got a big win.
Mhm.
So huge shout out to them. So yes, just a few things to go over real quick. Of course, just a reminder, this Saturday and Sunday, Sage Media will be streaming all
Oh,
of the PSAL football championships. Make your coffee, get over to Old Boys and Girls, or get to the couch, turn on Sage Media, and we have at 10 p.m. Excuse me, 10 a.m. It's the 2A, and at 1 a.m. it's the 3A. Then same routine on Sunday. Make your way over to Midwood Athletic Complex. 1A, huge upset in the 1A. We'll get to that later tonight. 1A championship at 10 a.m. And of course, y'all know the grand finale is the 4A at 1 p.m. Right next to each other, the
hmm.
2A represent the Sharks
Oh
and
man.
Eagle, man. Hold on, let me see this one.
No, that's
Uh,
incorrect.
yeah, that is maybe you meant to say 3-0 because we all picked E-Hall.
Now Mac,
We
Mac picked Tottenville, right?
No, you didn't pick that, but we all picked E-Hall.
Oh, okay, my bad, Mac.
Yeah,
I
we
forgot.
all picked E-Hall. So yes, just a reminder, um, we are live streaming all of the games. Also, December 7th, the
Mm.
Riley Classic at the Nest / Old Boys and Girls, whatever you want to call it, 77 Rutland Road. It's going to be live streamed on Sage Media. You see all the sponsors there. Move the Change is taking over the Raleigh Classic, so you know it's going to be a movie. Shot by LJ is going to be there. Uniforms by Imprinted. So it's already going to be a movie. Hopefully, you guys saw the uniform. The uniforms are real awesome. Erica said someone picked Toddville. I don't know who picked Toddville. No, we all picked Ehall. All right, Mac himself can.
We can
Yo,
ask him right now. We can ask
Academics.
Mac right now.
He said he got his name Academics. Mac,
Well,
didn't we all pick Ehall last week?
yeah, we did. I actually went back on my statement that I said that whoever loses in the regular season was going to win. I went back
Mac
on my
literally said, "I'm going back on my statement."
yeah.
Wow.
I went back on my statement.
My guy Lyle in the chat, he not
There he
ducking no
is.
wreck. My guy, he not ducking nobody. My guy Lyle in the chat
Lyle
saying he
said
got better Wi-Fi than you from Cancun, man. So, of course,
Wi-Fi's
with
not
all
messed
these,
up this time.
yeah. So, of course, with all of these awesome games we're streaming, definitely an opportunity to market your business with us. Just contact the email you see right there. We've already gotten a few inquiries. And actually, the first announcement, we have two announcements today. We'll do one later today, but the first announcement is to announce our first advertiser, who's Lights Out
Hey,
Performance, man. My guy
Fire.
that's
Wayne
awesome.
Morgan, man.
Oh,
So definitely huge
oh,
shout out to
oh,
Lights
oh,
Out Performance. They will be one of the sponsors for the 4A championship. Their logo will be right next to the scoreboard. And listen, it's
oh.
do I really need to sell this anymore? It's Wayne Morgan,
Awesome.
PSAL champion, freaking Syracuse commit, all of that. I mean, he's trained quite a few college players at this point. Also coaches the Mo Better Jaguars, one of the coaches from the Mo Better Jaguars. So listen, you see that we have a spotlight on New York City football right now. And it doesn't matter if you're from New York City, even if you're from Long Island, wherever you need to be, you need to come tap in with Lights Out Performance because they're putting out some of the best athletes in the tri-state, honestly. So definitely make sure you tap in with my guy Wayne at Lights Out Performance, man. So Mac is probably fixing his Wi-Fi real quick. All right, Mac, you good? 'Cause I think it's time to get into it, man.
Is my Wi-Fi good though?
Yeah,
For
yeah,
real?
you were lagging
Mm-hmm.
before, but I think you're good now.
All right, cool.
So you know where we have to start. Final Four weekend did not disappoint in the PSAL. And of course, we have to start at the Miracle on McDonald, coined by Jared Valluzzi. Don't care what nobody say. The Miracle at McDonald, 46-40. Erasmus Hall. What's the analogy I've been saying all year long? All year long, I'm saying that we're all living in an Erasmus Hall horror movie. They are the villain, and until you see the credit, you know, if it's Jason Voorhees, you know, you throw fire on him or you throw him into the lake, whatever you're supposed to do, but then he just pops up next to you anyway. Like that's Ehall. Like, you think they're dead and buried, but they just keep pulling it out, man. So 46-40. I mean, I guess I'll give it to you first, Jared. Like, just what are your thoughts? Just when you see that score line, what are
Yeah,
your thoughts, man?
that's what I wanted to start off with first, honestly. I didn't expect it at all to be that high scoring. I mean, the first meeting, alone, it was, very defensive when the points got scored, especially for E-Holes, very opportunistic. They couldn't really get much going against Taunville. And then this game, I mean, Amir showed up. This whole E-Hole offense showed up. I mean, it was incredible. And then obviously the ending, nuts. like one of the craziest that I've ever seen, especially in the playoffs. Like you can't make this stuff up, man. It's unreal. And I'm honestly just in shock. And for Tottenville, it's just another like honestly, congratulations to them and all their players because they have so many talented athletes, great coaches, but a season ending definitely in heartbreak on that play. But definitely congratulations. They have a lot of kids coming back next year, so I would hate to play against them next season. And for E-Hall, man, I mean, it's just wow. Like a bunch of people were doubting their offense. Even I had a little bit of doubts inside of me. I still picked them to win the game, but they definitely no more doubts. That's for sure.
Nah, just your initial thoughts on this game, man.
I was getting the text updates of the game. 24, 28. Then it was getting in the 30s. Then you guys said 40-40, tie 40-40. I'm like, what is going on? Either I'm assuming both teams just watched a bunch of film and was able to execute offensively. Definitely got to, give props to both offensive groups. That's crazy. And then seeing the video of Tottenville on their 3-yard line, 4-yard line, trying to seal a game with a field goal, and did it get blocked? Immediately when I saw the highlight or the play, I thought you couldn't return a field goal in the PSAL. But it's not the case. You can't return an extra point. So if the extra point gets blocked, the play is dead. And then watching the video as well, the referees wasn't even in the picture.
Oh, I didn't look for that.
So they had to been hanging out back from where the ball was being kicked. When they got blocked, they never followed. At least I didn't see them in the clip. They never followed the play, and then the ball got kicked. Then I'm definitely looking for the referees, and yeah, that was crazy.
I didn't mean to click on that one.
Yeah.
Tyshawn. That was funny though, Tyshawn. I can't lie to you. I didn't mean to click on that one though.
Yeah, and then the play itself, man, it's going all over social media right now. It's crazy. Some people upset about it, of course, and then some people thrilled. That one's going down in history for sure.
Yeah, it's super controversial. Excuse me. I guess it's controversial on the internet. I guess it's we should address it. I mean, I don't want to stir it up again, but first of all, the play was completely legal in my opinion. I know it looked close. There was a E-Hall player who tried to kick the ball. He completely whiffed. It ricocheted off of someone's foot. It looked like it was a Tottenville's player that it ricocheted off of. Might not even been his foot. Might have been an ankle. It was just one of those things where everyone is to scramble for the ball, and it just went off of someone's leg. Unfortunately, it takes an E-Hall bounce, and then once it's in that scrum, some people were asking me like, "Oh, was it a forward lateral?" Like, it was not a forward lateral.
Yeah.
Like, it was in the scrum. Everyone is literally wrestling each other for the ball. Someone picked the ball up. You can kind of see somebody. You can tell that it wasn't a lateral because the player was facing the opposite direction. Like, he didn't just get it and just throw it over his shoulder. Like, somebody punched it out. Someone's trying to rip it out. And like I said, it's really one of those crazy things in sports that just happens. You can't explain it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just an incredible play, honestly. And it's one of those things where, sometimes sports is beautiful and it's just awful at the same time, right? All those kids from E-Hall, you just see, just like Coach Wheeler is saying, just no quit at all. and they didn't quit till the very, very end. Shout out to my guy. Man, I hate doing this because my man like to talk. Shout out to my guy LJ. Right before he definitely called, he literally said Ehall was gonna block the kick. I don't know how Ehall in coots with somebody because even LJ knew they were gonna block the kick. Um, and like I said, sports is beautiful and terrible at the same time. I don't know if anyone here has been a part of the wrong side of a game winner. It literally your stomach, your heart just drops into your stomach. It's
Yeah,
it's
man.
it's awful for those kids, but it's incredible for the Hall kids at the same time. And one thing I definitely wanted to make sure I said was that this E Hall team, this E Hall team truly does not believe they're going to lose. And that is one of like the hardest things to beat because they just don't believe they're going to lose. Like when they lost to Curtis, yes, I know the streak was on the line, they lost it, but I saw at least 2 or 3 kids drop to the floor like it was the playoffs, you know what I'm saying? Like these kids and this coaching staff do not believe they're going to lose. Of course, we're gonna get into the championship game later, but it's just incredible from this team. So, Jared, I know hopefully you could have seen some highlights. I know someone asked before where can we watch the highlights. Higher Sage Media won't have this problem.
Oh,
Yep.
man.
Anyway,
Now say it, please,
uh,
because all the games, literally New York City and Long Island, it was all at once. So
Yeah.
how are we supposed to rewatch it?
yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I was like thinking about it the whole time. I was just like, wow, like this is why I do what I do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because YouTube and the internet is a digital encyclopedia, and that should be a moment that should live forever, not just from an
Yeah,
iPhone footage.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, Jared, first of all, just your thoughts on now you could bounce back to me. I know not everyone might not have been able to see the game, but just Amir Maro and Justice Murray. Just
Yeah.
talk about those two, or either of you guys could pick it up, man.
Insane. I mean, when I was like, because I was texting LJ, obviously, like I was at a different game, and he was just like, I was like, man, this Erasmus Hall offense, like, hard, like, what's the difference, this time compared to last time? He was like, Amir Maro, and yeah, he was just like, and I mean, yeah, like he had that kind of performance, truly incredible, and also one thing with E Hall too that honestly stood out to me. You're down by 11 twice, you
That's
know?
crazy.
Like you have your backs against the wall where your offense needs to deliver. Like you have no room for error. And like we kind of saw in the Curtis game previously, like when they needed something, they weren't able to get it done. But now, you're in that situation and they're able to pull that off in crunch time when the lights are at the brightest and they did it. And I mean that's truly special and that's what winners do. So it was pretty crazy that they were able to do that, especially against a really, really good Tottenville team that had them on the ropes.
What was his stat line?
uh, it's funny you say that because there are no stats on PSAL.
Yeah, that's what, just because you brought that up now, and there's a couple other games too that I was looking at, just trying to get a read of it. I know it's the playoffs. I know coach is
Yeah.
very, very busy. Applaud all you guys of what you do. Please update the stats just for like just helps everybody. It definitely helps your players as well.
Yeah, but real quick, I just want to jump in on the Amir Maro topic because these are some just special performances, man. Like stat lines are stat lines, but when you watch a game and when you're at a game and you can feel the momentum of games, that's where you really understand the moments. And just like you guys said, Tottenville went up, it was 11 twice, I think, right? They went up 2 scores twice. And you kind of felt the air leaving Sid Luckman. You know what I'm saying? And it
Mm-hmm.
was like, I'm standing next to LJ. I'm like, yo, they need to score now. because they cannot. We have a whole segment on Tyshawn and Cory. Trust me. But just to scratch the surface of it, I'm looking at LJ. I'm like, yo, Tyshawn and Cory are on one today. Y'all need to score right now. And it was like Amir was like, I bet. and just and took and scored. And this is why that's so special. Like athletes and everything like that, we all know how momentum works. You know, the crowd is behind you, your teammates are pumping you up, and great players are able to swim against the tide. You know what I'm saying? When Tottenville fans are taking over your stadium, where it just everyone you have certain people arguing against each other on your sideline, but you have the focus to literally put your team on his back, and Amir did that, and Justice did that as well. So Mac, your thoughts on these two players, and we'll talk more about Justice.
Yeah, man. That's it's crazy to see Erasmus put together that kind of production offensively. I heard Amir had a crazy game. Justice played lights out when they needed to score. They scored. Like I said, I'm getting the text updates about the game, and I'm like, damn. And Erasmus is down 8 or 9 points. I'm like, shit, that's tough, man. And they kept putting the kids in the best situations, throwing and running the ball. So that was great to hear, man. Definitely the game of the year.
No, absolutely. I'm just queuing something up real quick. No, it was absolutely the game of the year, and just talk about Justice, man. Of course, there's been some back and forth. It's always. I'm sure it's always hard. Being. Oh, that's weird. We're still live, right? Okay, I got disconnected from the chat. I think it's always hard. I can only imagine having like a two quarterback system, and you kind of have to come in and make an instant impact. Coaching staff went with Justice for the majority of the game, and he paid off, man. Like that read option
I know that.
was he was pulling it at the perfect times, and he was running tough. He was making the right cuts. He just really couldn't be stopped. And I have to give all the credit in the world to him. He actually also threw for a touchdown, except it was called back for a.
Oh wow!
I'm trying to fix the chat here. It was called back for a holding, so he did throw for a touchdown. Okay, I think the chat is back. Sorry about that. It's weird. So yeah, I just have to give a huge shout out to Justice Murray for leading the team, and pretty sure he had at least 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. I see people talking about, is there any footage of the game? Maybe E-Hall huddle camera, maybe.
Yeah, that's what, yeah.
I'm really not sure, unfortunately. But also just another shout out to the offensive line for E-Hall, man. Just like we were saying that this matchup before was, I mean, that offense couldn't do anything. Let's be honest. Like they scored off of a forced fumble and a 2-yard drive, right?
Wow.
And that offensive line definitely took that very personally. And that front seven from Tottenville is nothing to shake your head at. You know what I'm saying? Tottenville's front seven is tough, and E-Hall really got back to what we're used to seeing, moving people around. Any last thoughts on the E-Hall side of this?
Shout out to the O-line coach at Erasmus, Coach L, man,
Absolutely.
who also runs the lineman factory. He kind of got in there and got those boys right. So that's definitely good to see.
That was a good quote. I like that. Put that on a t-shirt. Put that on a t-shirt. Jared, any last thoughts on this one? On the E-Hall side.
On the E-Hall side, no, I mean, I think we pretty much covered it. just crazy, man. Like that's all I could really say. It's nuts,
Yeah.
and yeah, we're gonna talk about them and the big one next week in a little bit. So I'll save
Yeah.
it.
I would be remiss if I don't mention Coach Wheeler. Huge shout out to Coach Wheeler. Like you are piloting what the 5-time defending champions. Everybody thinks that they can play Madden and pick the plays better. And some people always what do they say? The make sure the apology is louder than the disrespect, or however it goes.
Yeah, that's it.
We never disrespect Wheeler over here, to get that story straight. But yeah, Wheeler, just huge shout out to you, man, because you've been under so much pressure, and let's be honest, there's been no E-Hall team, no set of E-Hall players, no set of staff that's been under this much pressure. The league has definitely caught up. Is that safe to say?
What
Like,
diamond?
yes, maybe not, 5 through 12, but 1 through 4 have definitely closed the gap a bit with E-Hall. So under a tremendous amount of pressure this year, and I think to bring them to another championship is a great accomplishment. So shout out to Wheeler and the entire staff, O-line coach, everybody. Um, the Tottenville side, it's just so unfortunate when you're on the wrong side of history, because we could easily be talking about two of the best performances in a PSAL playoff game, in Tyshawn Bent and Cory Brown. Now, I'll kind of set it up for you guys. Cory Brown did not play in the first matchup. And I said, listen, Cory Brown is a tremendous player. It's going to make a difference. I was dead wrong. Cory Brown. Listen, man, I'm going to say it. Wake Forest, Syracuse. Y'all need to hit up this boy, Cory Brown, if you haven't already, because he is tremendous. Tyshawn Bent, that's really my guy in real life. Man, he scored about a 40 to 50-yard touchdown off of a swing pass.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's kind of yeah, okay. So I'm not sure if you saw it. Did you see it, Jared?
He rolled out. The quarterback rolled out.
Yeah. I don't know if it was design or not. It kind of looked like a design. Justin rolled out left, threw it back to Taon Wright. He cuts across the whole entire field and scores. And I happened to be on the Tottenville sideline at that time, and Tyshawn was literally like gasping for breath. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Cory and Tyshawn were also playing defense, and they probably made
defense too.
They didn't come off Mac. They did not come off the field.
What did Cory?
They didn't come off the field.
He played corner.
Cory was playing outside linebacker, and Tyshawn was covering Lyric.
Yo, wow.
Listen, it was just an out of this world performance. Like, there are other Tottenville players to talk about. We're going to get to them. Cyrus, Cardona, huge salute to you. Another one of the players who was going both ways, playing center, playing D tackle. And like I said, these guys weren't just on defense. They were making like a lot of plays. They were making tackles. So Jared, I'll throw it over to you. Just Cory Brown and Tyshawn Bent. Just talk about these two players, man.
Yeah, the fact that the league has to go against them next season, that's insane. I mean, it's been 2 years of them absolutely tearing it up, and now there's a third of this duo. We're talking possibly, because when I've spoke with people around the city, they're like, yeah, Tottenville, they might have the two fastest players in the city, the two best running backs in the city, and it's on the same team, and it's crazy. And they're saying that like in the preseason and during the season, and they're back again. Like they're saying that as junior and sophomore. Now they're back
Yeah.
as junior and senior. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So the fact that like they've been talked about like that, and of course they back it up, they live up to the hype. Like I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, this is gonna go down, especially next year if everything goes as planned. You know, one of the duos that we're gonna talk about for a very, very long time, and give them their flowers for how much they've put in this year and how special they were against an Erasmus Hall defense that's incredible. Like, who runs on E-Hole like that? Like, who does that in the city?
I have asked the man himself, Danny
Yeah,
Lamberg. I said, Danny,
who's the man?
when was the last time you guys gave up 40 points? He did not have an answer for me.
Even yeah, because like when I'm thinking about it too, E-Hall has scheduled some extremely difficult out of state games,
Mm-hmm.
and like they've lost those games. I don't know if anyone's gotten to 40 though. I'm not sure. Maybe one or two of them has, maybe.
Yeah, I
And
think
then
they played St. Joe's. Is it St. Joe's?
yeah, St. Joe's might have, and guess what? They're nationally ranked.
Yeah, yeah, really good.
Yeah, so maybe St. Joe's. I know a couple years ago they kind of shut down St. Joe's a couple years ago, but it's insane. So wow, and no one in New York City obviously is putting up 40. So insane for Tottenville. And that comment, yeah, what Coach Wheeler said, one of the best duos the PSAL has ever seen. Like I was like, they have to be in that conversation. I know you guys have been around the league longer than I have, and especially some of the people in the chat. But yeah, they definitely deserve to be in that conversation just from what we've seen here this year and last year.
To piggyback off of
Just
what
talk about these
Jared said,
two. Mm-hmm.
yeah, man. Both ways. So I think the PSL is going to stay interesting for quite some time because McGuire's coming back from Tottenville, Tyshawn is coming back, Cory's coming back, and number two, I can't.
Nick Constantino.
Yeah, yeah,
Constantino, yes. So
crazy.
Nick Constantino and Cory Brown, I believe, have 2 more years of high school
Wow.
football to play, which, oh my gosh, man, as media, you gotta love it. And next year, I mean, Justice is coming back, Kendall's coming back, Amir is coming back. So, I mean, it's not even like these guys are seniors performing like this. These guys are juniors and sophomores putting up some crazy numbers. Tottenville, I think they'll be fine moving forward. This was definitely a tough loss for them. But like I said, a lot of guys coming back. There are some key seniors on that team that's leaving, but Tottenville is a super solid program. They have guys that's definitely ready to come up and fill those shoes of those seniors.
No, absolutely. And I want to give another shout out. I can't say his last name. I'm not even going to lie to you, so I don't want to butcher it. This guy's a junior as well. I don't know where he came from, honestly, because I have never seen him until this game, and I've seen Tottenville a few times. Number 19 on Tottenville, Isaiah. Now, like I said, I don't want to butcher his Anna Rabia. I'm
Okay.
just try it. Anna Rabia. Yo, first of all, he's a unit. He's got to be 6'2", 6'3", 200.
Wow.
He's a big kid.
Great size.
And he's playing tight end. And one thing I've said, and the reason why of course, not only just the ending, of course, it just felt like Tottenville played like they couldn't have played any better. What have I always been saying? Since day one, I have said Tottenville need to be able to complete 3 to 4 passes to win the big game, right? In the first game, they against E-Hall, they completed 3 passes in the first drive, right? And then in this game, it's a 4th down, And Tottenham's always very, very tricky. It's a 4th down. They run out the punting unit, and then they do like a flash substitution where the entire punting unit runs off the field and the offense runs back onto the field.
Wow.
So I'm thinking, okay, they're going to try to draw him outside offside. No, Justin drops back and throws it up to Isaiah, and he goes and snatches it. And he also scored at least two 2-point conversions. So I was just like, where did he come from for real? I mean, that's what you need in a playoff game, that you need, those unsung heroes. You know what I'm saying? And Isaiah definitely stepped up, and unfortunately, it just wasn't enough for Tottenville, and to first of all, for this to be a semifinal. I mean,
crazy.
A championship rematch as a semifinal is just gut wrenching to lose it. They came so close last year, and they came close again this year. But E-Hall's just that thorn in their side, and with such a great team returning, obviously you have to work with the players you have, but it's all about it's Mac. You're perfect tap here. What do you say to your team after a game like this? Like, how do you say, "Hey guys, like we got to do this and this better so we can win next time"? Because you're lying. You did everything you could.
You don't even say that, man. Like, them boys gave it all they had. It came down to literally one play, one freakish play. Like, even when the field goal was blocked, I thought that somebody was going to, and that was going to be it. Like, I didn't think that it was going to get kicked, picked up, lateral like. So as a coach, I mean, for the Tottenville coach, like, yeah, man, definitely let those kids know you love them. They gave it their all. And yeah, let's lock in for the offseason to get ready for next season. That's all you can really say, man.
Yeah, man, listen, Tyshawn, Cory, y'all need a ride to a camp. You let anybody know. I'll pack my car, drive to Staten Island. We need to go to South Carolina for a camp. Come on, Tyshawn. Come on, Cory. Let's go. Y'all two need to. They need to get some national exposure, honestly. And I'm not saying that just because those are our guys. I think that they're really that good.
Yeah, they will. They will.
So hopefully they get that exposure. And I know people are focusing a lot on the end of the game, but Tottenville, they had chances to ice the game. One incident that you're not going to see on any highlights or anything like that is that after Tottenville scored the long pass touchdown to Tyshawn, they went for two. There was really no reason to go for two. I think they could have. I think if they had kicked the field goal, they would have been up 9. I don't know if Wheeler is still in the chat.
Yeah,
I think Wheeler actually mentioned it earlier.
Yep, he did.
Yeah, I think it was 40-32. And instead of kicking the extra point, they went for 2.
Honestly,
they didn't get it.
In the heat of the moment, I know you're supposed to calculate these things and play through the scenarios. It's hard, man. It's hard. I mean, they went for 2 for whatever reason. But who would have thought it would? Who would have thought it would have came down to them on their 4-yard line trying to take the lead with a field goal?
Yeah, I know. It's just crazy. Jared, any last words on this one before we call the South Shore contingent to the stand?
Yeah. Obviously crazy. I wonder, like, I'm hoping I'm gonna get an opportunity. I'm really gonna try to find a way to watch this full game. I'm interested to see if like Tottenville had any sort of trouble like previously, like when it came to like holding or like with their extra points, if that had any influence on like their decision to go for 2, or if it's more of like I don't know if you remember that 2-point play, Andre. Was it like, okay, instead of betting on our kicking game to get a 2-possession game, we might as well give it to Cory or Tyshawn. It's been working.
No,
So
it wasn't. It wasn't like that, unfortunately. And I hear what Mac was saying. I got to be honest, and I'm not being too harsh. I hope I'm not being too harsh, but it was just it was a blunder, to be honest with you. Like they were up 8 points after the touchdown,
yeah,
so kicking the extra point would have put them up 9. And like I said, Tyshawn wasn't on the field because he was literally trying to catch his breath.
oh, okay, yeah.
So it was I don't know how to describe it. You know when teams line up in like a weird formation before they kick an extra point, like they line up with like 5 people to the
Yeah,
left, 2
yeah,
people to the right, and it's
Yeah.
just the center.
yeah.
So that's how they line up, but then they usually come back together to
Mhm.
kick it. Um, but they snapped it, and
He
they
never
they
came
did
back?
that earlier. Yeah, so they did that
Okay.
earlier in the game, and that's how they got other 2-point conversions.
Wow.
But in this scenario, yeah, they snapped it.
Wow.
So so I don't know if there was a miscommunication or something like that, but yeah,
Interesting.
all they needed was the extra point to put them up 9. And we're not saying that, the game would have been over, of course, because like I said, Amir literally scored 45 seconds later or something like that. Like who knows what's going to happen? You're down 1 point or whatever. But yeah, it was unfortunate. Sorry, Jared, did I cut you off? I know you asked me the question, but you got anything else to say?
No, no, I wanted to know the answer to that. That's very valuable. But no, that was really it. Definitely surprised me when it was like 40-32, and yeah, it happened that they only stood up by 8. But other than that, no, I think we covered everything. Pretty crazy. Hats off to all those Tottenville seniors, and especially, yeah, the guys that played well. Obviously, it didn't go your way, but congratulations on the success. So crazy, and honestly, this is good for the league though as a whole. Like a semifinal game like that, that's
Yeah.
insane. That's great for New York City football, and yeah, really, really cool.
Yeah, so Showtime NYC. Hopefully you heard my explanation. I don't know if you sent that late, but hopefully you heard my explanation. They were already up by 8, and then they went for 2. Again, Ehor or Tottenville guy can correct me, but I'm like 100% sure I was there. Um, we can't confirm this, but if it's true, that's awesome. What number, Nair? What number is he?
Um,
Wait, and this might wait. Hold on. Didn't we talk about this in the chat? Like, wasn't Wayne Morgan the first? Didn't Wayne Morgan do this?
I think Wayne started as a freshman.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm not trying to burst it with bubble, but
And that is a beast though. But I think Wayne. I'm not 100% sure, but I think Wayne. Yo, Wheeler, for real, same though. I
yeah.
like to see the game as well.
Oh, thanks, coach.
Word, I like to see the game.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think Wayne started as a freshman. I can't verify that.
Yes. So South Shore, you're called to the stand. Do not duck wreck. I'm going to make an announcement.
Oh man.
But South Shore, you are called to the stand. Do not duck wreck. So the final score on the other side of the brackets was okay. They're saying Wayne played defense. Now
Oh,
someone else is saying Wayne started on both sides of the ball.
yeah.
Okay, this is like the great debate. Everybody has Wayne's number. Somebody ask Wayne.
I think she means
Hmm.
her son was the first kid to start on the offensive side of the ball as a freshman. They're saying Wayne started on defense as a freshman. I'm not sure if Wayne played offense as a freshman. I can't. I'm not sure.
Copy. All right. So again, time is ticking for South Shore. Okay. Other side of it, 28-0 Curtis over South Shore, which of course brings us to the championship, Curtis versus E Hall. Why am I skipping ahead? Just to make a quick announcement on this game. Yes, we are live streaming this game. but also New York Football Talks will be commentating.
Fire.
So Jared Valluzzi, Coach Mac, gonna be on the mic. Super excited. I will tell you guys right now, it is a PSAL event, technically, so there won't be a live chat just because the PSAL don't want to deal with Monty.
Really?
Monty. Just realize the show didn't even start yet.
Hold on,
Monty's
wait.
not here yet.
Monty better be at the game, man. I'm trying to meet Monty. I'm trying to meet honestly a bunch of the fans that watch our show.
Wait, but Dre, there's no live chat. There's no chat.
No, there's no chat. There's no chat. PSAL.
Oh, no chat. Listen, guys, I'll send out a private link. Just use that as a chat. Use it as a chat. Hey, check my my story for the private link that morning of, man. How is it no chat, man? What? That's crazy, man.
It's crazy, but I'm sure I don't have to explain to you why
Oh,
the
no,
PSAL would have.
I definitely understand why it's no chat. Yeah, don't get me wrong. But this is
we'll try to do other game, like maybe other basketball games, and I'll hire more moderators. So I kind of show them, that we can handle it. But we're anticipating, there'll probably be at least over 1,000 people in the chat and watching the game. So just to, I guess, keep it copacetic.
Yeah, no, I definitely get it. I definitely get
it. Yeah. All right. So just while we have, the majority of the people who are going to be in the chat, we could go on IG Live. That's not a bad idea.
Good idea, Dre.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea, actually. Maybe we could do something like that.
Yes.
I love this because I'm tired of everyone asking me where is Jared. So.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I am so excited
to finally
be able to get out to New York City and be there, commentate on the side, meet some people after the game, whatever, before the game.
Oh.
All right. So definitely wanted to get that while we have our peak viewers. Love that we had 130 people in here. Awesome.
Dre, I do have a problem.
Huh?
I do have a problem. Why? I know you have political ties, and you probably can't answer this. Why is a championship game being started at 10 o'clock in the morning? That is the crazy, yo. Like, you can't even get a bacon, egg, and cheese and make time for a 10 o'clock kickoff. It's crazy. Nah, no. Seriously. Like, this has to. We have to have a meeting. We have to do something. 10 a.m. It's unfair to the kids. Like, even for the kids and the coaches that's playing in the game, you're telling me that the bus is leaving whatever school they're traveling from. I mean, Curtis. Well, their game is later, but let's just say any other school that's playing at 10 a.m. Your bus is leaving the school at like 7 o'clock in the morning, 7:30 in the morning. You got to get to the school at like 6 a.m. for your championship game. Yo, all right, man. I just had to get that out. That is the most craziest thing ever. Like,
yeah. I'm sure they had their reasoning. I could just think of the wanting the sun to still be up. That could be one thing. Obviously, just getting people out of the building. Yes, hold on. South Shore, you're still on the clock. Don't think I.
Yeah, we didn't forget about you. Yeah.
But huge shout out,
dude,
to Iona Prep.
Salute,
I know this is mainly a PSA. It's mainly a PSAL show. I understand. I do want to talk about the category more, but I do also understand the people in the chat. But Carlos, you've always been in the chat, so huge salute to you. And Iona Prep, every year they got to travel all the way to Uniondale. That's probably a whole other conversation. They got to travel all the way to Uniondale to go play a championship game. Jared, 4 in a row, correct? Or Carlos, you can remind me, 4 in a row.
Appearances, I think so, and I have to give a lot of credit to Carlos. He is an incredible offensive lineman.
Oh my gosh.
That whole O-line, like him, Rowan Byrne, the rest of those incredible players. I mean, they're a machine. And then Coach Spags has, like the way that they're running their offense, the scheme. I mean, how like they're just it's a well-oiled machine. Crew Davis went crazy. Iona Prep, like they handled St. Anthony's. The Friars did the best that they could, but Iona Prep, man, big shout out to them. It was a statement year, and wow, yeah, they really showed up.
What was their closest game this year? Like,
So honestly, so here's the thing, like Hayes, them and Hayes, like Iona Prep had to like come back against Cardinal Hayes, and they ended up beating them. I don't like. Some people think Cardinal Hayes would have gave Iona Prep a better game in the championship than St. Anthony's did. Some people believe that. Like that's obviously up for debate. But yeah, like Iona Prep, they were just rolling. They rolled through Chaminade. Obviously, no AA teams were touching them. So other than that Hayes game, and St. Anthony's played them tough in the regular season, but in the championship, Iona was just a little too much. I think the regular season game was 48-40. But the championship was, I think, 43-22. I have to double check, but I'm definitely gonna do something on that soon. Yeah, shout out Iona Prep, man.
Shout out Iona. It's just I really respect that program a lot, and I was talking to Jared. It's the program like I don't know. I haven't been very familiar with that program over my years. I don't know anyone on the staff or anything like that. I've never. No, I ran track. Have been Iona before? I might have been Iona before as an athlete, but huge shout out to them.
Yeah, Spags is awesome.
So,
and also, just last thing before we're done with Iona, I just wanted to throw it in there. Like the fact that like last year, their starting quarterback was Joey Gaston. He ended up leaving to go to prep school.
Yeah.
And then star wide receiver Stephen Dowdy unfortunately got injured.
no, hopefully he's okay, man.
Yeah, I really hope he's doing well. But like you lose a Gaston and a Dowdy that were two of the best players returning to this league this upcoming year, and still to be a machine without them. I mean, that just shows how amazing that program is and how talented all the kids are. So
yeah, so huge shout out to Iona. Huge shout out to Iona Prep, and another huge shout out to our sponsors on Saturday. One of our sponsors on Saturday, Lights Out Performance. Our guy Wayne Morgan. Just want to throw this in here while there's more people. Lights Out Performance. Their logo will be right next to the scoreboard of the 4A championship. So shout out to them. And all right, I bought all the time I could.
Here we go.
There's film on this game. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, I watched it. Oh my goodness.
Oh
my goodness.
I saw this game, yeah.
28-0. Curtis punching their ticket to the 4A championship. Coach Mac, I'm gonna give you this one first, man.
I just want to start off by saying not too much on South Shore. This is a team, they've been saying it all year. They're a 2A team. You know what I'm saying? To make it this far in the semis, I think that's an unbelievable achievement for the season. Curtis is different. I said this on the last show. Up front in the trenches, Curtis is they're a force, man, and it's hard. It's hard to really compete in a game where just up front you're getting beat up. I still stand on. I think on the perimeter, South Shore had better athletes. I think inside the box, Curtis had bigger dogs, bigger, faster, and stronger dogs in the box. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, like I said on the last episode, kind of everything I said pretty much happened. Curtis was able. I didn't expect Curtis to throw the ball like that. But Curtis was running the ball heavy, 44, and 1. Both had decent games. Anthony was throwing some dots, man. I was shocked to see Ant let it rip like that. That was super impressive. I think moving forward, South Shore is going to be fine. I think the coaching staff is doing an amazing job. of coaching the kids up. Just Curtis came out of nowhere. It's crazy, Drake, because before the season when they was playing non-league games, you had text the chat and you was like, "Yo, Curtis playing more right now, and this game don't even look too good." Like you was like both teams just was looking like just decent. So when you said that, I guess I had in my mind from that time that Curtis just wasn't gonna be competing, man, and he kind of came out the gate stomping. And this was definitely 44.
Oh, thank you. Finally,
Yes.
Mick Mostakas.
Yo,
Mostakas? Okay. Thank
oh,
you. I was literally about to ask
Mustakas.
someone to send me a voice note. Can you
Mm-hmm.
say it again, Jared?
I think it's Mustakas, right? I think that's Is that what it
Mustakas?
says?
Okay.
Mustakas.
Mustakas? Okay. Because I hate that we always, for the past
You
4
always
weeks, we've been
guess.
like, yo, Nick, yo, that boy Nick is, yo,
oh,
he's good. Nick, yeah,
oh.
good player.
Yeah.
Nick Mostakas. I need to write that down for Sunday. Thank you so much, John. Sorry, Mac. I didn't cut you off.
Nah, I was just saying, yeah, as far as 44, Nick and Gomez, both of those kids just running downhill, tough kids. And that Curtis defense, man, whew, yo, they fly around. They fly around. That's super impressive to see a New York City high school team outside of Erasmus fly around like that and make play. Erasmus defense has been pretty much over the years has been like that. So to see another school step up and have multiple players swarming to the ball is beautiful to see, man. Like I said, I want to take my hat off to South Shore. I think moving forward they'll be good. That coaching staff stays intact. They're gonna get whoever they get inside their building and coach those kids up.
Oh, absolutely. Real quick to Elijah. Elijah, that's Sheep's Head, right? Elijah?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've only gone up. This is only our second game, and there are no stats for the E-Hall Tottenville game. So yes, we will talk about stats.
Mhm.
But if the stats aren't posted, we can't talk about. Jared?
Yeah. So, man, first off, shout out TYJ for videoing this
Yo,
game and having. I mean, because his highlight videos, it's not like just 1 or 2 minutes. I'm able to really watch everything basically.
Mhm.
So yeah, shout out E man, that was huge. And yeah, when I watched it, this Curtis front seven, I mean, in the conversation with the best in the state, no doubt about it.
Oh man.
Um, like it's insane. Especially I watch a lot of Long Island football, and I don't. There's not a front seven on Long Island. I think that's I mean, maybe, but as good as Curtis, just the way how big they are, how physical, the way they're flying to the ball, and for them to take over to a point where where basically the South Shore skill players, like they couldn't make an impact because of how dominant this front seven was.
Yeah,
And I want to give a shout out. One of the guys that kind of just jumped out to me, Derek Batista, number 30 on Curtis. Long
Mhm.
defensive end. He was playing really well. Anthony Gambardello was outstanding.
My God,
Saquon
that's good.
Lawton just impresses me every single time he's on the field, of course. Yeah, you got Jarrett. I don't know who number 56 is. He also looked good. And
Yeah.
yeah, just the Curtis defense, man. That's all I was seeing because almost every single play for South Shore, Nick Cyrus was under serious pressure,
oh
and it
man.
didn't matter who the quarterback
Duress.
was. It didn't matter who the quarterback was for the Vikings because when you're getting pressured like that, like it is really really difficult, and they were getting to him basically immediately. They own the line of scrimmage, so it was really impressive. They took over that game defensively, and then on offense, Ashton Wilson and the big boys up front for Curtis, they looked really good, and of course, Nick Mostakis and Quadir Gomez, they were able to
There
do
you go.
their
That's
thing.
56 for you.
Anthony, yeah, Marcus Stafford, and he looked outstanding. Um, Thank you for confirming that. He has been excellent. I was gonna say because I saw something on I tried looking up that name before. I don't know, some weird results came up, but yeah. So Marcus Stafford, really, really good, and then Curtis offensively, they did their thing. I mean, Anthony Caratelli, he has been outstanding at quarterback. He made a great throw over to Evan Dukes. That's an awesome combination. They got a lot of good weapons, but they're running the ball consistently, and yeah, they dominate. And I will say the one thing for South Shore, this was probably out of Tottenville, Erasmus Hall, and Curtis, this is probably the worst matchup for them by
I
far.
agree. I
Once I
agree.
saw it, I was like, trust me, if South Shore had to play Tottenville or Erasmus Hall, it would have made my decision like harder. I don't know who I would have picked. I'm not saying they would be in the finals or anything, but it would have been harder. But because of that, I was like, I just don't know how, they're going to survive up front. And that's what happened. But huge credit, though, to South Shore in general for this season. They made it not only a lot of fun, but just another incredible program in the 4A now, especially jumping up, like you said before, Mac. It's just truly special. And they're going to be good for years to come because, listen, they have a lot of seniors, but they got guys coming back, man, that are going to be really, really, really talented. Like, you're telling me, like, Adrian Antoine, I think, is back. Like, you have to deal with him again. Like, there's guys like that. Like, wow. Like, that is insane. So, South Shore, they will be back. That's for sure. And, yeah, it's, congratulations to them on a great season. And, boy, do we have a good one in this championship, man. It really looks like we got two of the two best teams. So,
Dre, before you go, one of South Shore's better offensive linemen, Jeremiah Pope, didn't play. And when you have a kid like that who is one of your better offensive linemen not playing, and then you have to put somebody else in, and particularly that guy has to block. It just puts everybody in a bad situation, man. It really does. And I seen Jared out there. Yo, he gets so fired up after making a play. He starts stomping and jumping. It's just like, oh my God. From the coins, he came out from the coin toss just chirping. Like the kid just plays with so much intensity.
You hear it in TYJ's video, you hear somebody go,
what? Yeah. Yo, from the coin toss, he comes out and he's letting you know it's gonna be a long day. Wow. I do believe help is on the way. I truly believe that. The way you guys orchestrate in the off season, I take my hat off to that. Some people may not like it. I think it's amazing. That's just called being an active coach. So do what you guys got to do, man.
Oh, and sorry, my bad. Mac, were you done there?
Yeah, you good.
All right, yeah, no. So one last thing before we give it up to you, Dre. I'm sorry. Because I was listing just like Curtis names and stuff like that. And I'm sure there's just a bunch that we could keep going off of. But one more player that also impressed me, Jalil Parnell on Curtis as well. Really,
what
really
number?
Good. 22.
Okay.
So
yeah, I remember he getting a sack, huh?
Yeah, and Curtis, man, it's just like they just have so many guys that could get it done there. So really, really impressive, man. We're gonna have something special next week.
So here's my first question to you guys when I'm watching this tape. Now follow my logic here. As far as a trio goes, a trio on one side of the ball, Anthony Gambardella, Saquon Lawton, Jared Surratt. Is this the best trio? Now, when I was really thinking about this, like the best trios in the league, of course, you think Nick Cyrus, Tajay Schulters, Rich Perkins.
Yeah.
You're talking about on either side of the ball?
Either?
Yeah. Yes, on either side of the ball.
Ooh. Okay. That's a lot of nice trios.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a better trio than these three, to be honest with you.
Townsville got a quad.
Yes. No, I understand. Like that's the first one that came to my mind was Tyshawn, Cory, and Nick Constantino.
Justin, yeah.
Is it better than these three after what you watched on Saturday?
Erasmus got Kendall, Brown, Nasir Brown, Xavier Hughes. I like that trio as far as defensively as well.
No, you're forgetting. And I'm forgetting his name too right now. Oh God, 99. How am I not
I'm
remembering his
bugging.
name?
I'm bugging. Kamarion.
Kamarion, yeah.
Kamarion. Yeah,
I'm
Kamarion.
bugging. Oh yeah.
He's crazy.
My
No,
bad.
Nasir. We said Nasir, Kamarion, and Brown, right? Yeah, no, that's a good one as well.
Shit.
In all seriousness, I don't know if anyone is better than this trio in 2, 0, and 3, man. These guys break games.
Oh,
They break games, right?
definitely.
No one is going to tell me that this South Shore team is not good. No one is going to tell me that, oh, South Shore wasn't playing any competition, yada, yada, yada. Because I have eyes and I know football. This is a good football team. You know who else is a good football team? The Tottenville Pirates. Do you know how many points this trio gave up against these two teams? 7.
Damn.
Yeah, it's
7. Yo, man. I know everyone's throwing names in the chat.
Yeah.
In the trio, there's 3 in the trio. There's 3.
yeah, I was gonna say they also have, of course
out.
they have help. Like we're not disregarding that at all. But yeah, those
Yeah,
three
we're not disregarding Javon. Yeah, Javon is tremendous. I gave him a shirt, man. The kid is tremendous.
yeah, it's
I definitely want to shout out, especially Saquon Lawton, because one, I keep saying his name every single time I come on here. It's because he just jumps out on the film when you watch him. Like, and this is something I've been. I mean, we're all spot on in predicting this game, but you know, Saquon is able to get sideline to sideline so fast. He reacts so fast. And this is actually something I wanted to write down because I definitely wanted to talk about this. Is Curtis processes information just as fast as South Shore, arguably even faster. South Shore's offense is predicated on going fast, catching you out of position, getting your athletes in space. How do you beat athletes in space? You close the space. It's much easier to tackle Tajay Schulters if he's 1 yard away from you versus if he's 3 yards away from you. And now he gets 3 steps to work with. I mean, we saw how that went in the Canarsie game. It's barbecue chicken if you give Tajay Schulter 3 steps, you know what I'm saying? And you combat that by closing space. How do you close space? You read your keys, you process what's happening in front of you, and you react. And, they were throwing out that screen, and it was one play in particular that I remember, and it was at the end of the game. But Rich caught it was like I used to call it a whip route. I don't know what it's called in different offenses, but it's when you run a slant, you stop, and you come outside. I don't know what you call that.
It's a whip. It's a whip.
What do you call it, Mac?
It's a whip.
It's a whip route. Okay. So he runs a whip route. Quarterback gets it out to him. He catches it. He makes one move, but and this is where it comes to how different the top 3 in this PSAL is. Against every other team, Rich Perkins has another step. You know what I'm saying? He's used to that. Oh, I'm gonna make this one step. Let me hit this other move. I got this other move in the tuck. You don't got that other step, my brother. You don't have the other step because these guys are coming and they're violent. They're violent. And that is the biggest difference between Tottenville, Curtis, and E-Hall. The level, listen, we all love football, but we know what football is at its core. It's a violent sport. Have to be physical in this sport. And these 3 teams play with a level of physicality that damn near no one has been able to match for years. And I definitely think it wears down on you. And I wanted to bring this up when I was talking about E-Hall. But I remember Coach Mouse. I'm gonna say it right, Coach Mouse, right?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. You know, there was a moment where, he's coaching up the DBs and they're doing a drill where they're like, fitting up or whatever, right? And he just says, "Hey, let's pause this. I need to hear some pads on pads right now. All right, let's keep the drill going." I was just like, I'm at my camera. I'm like, damn, I thought he was talking to me. It's like, damn. And what did you hear? Pad on pad for the
Yeah,
rest of that drill. And that game, Tottenville E Hall, was the level of physicality was here, man. That's why I always give respect to Cory and Tyrone. They were taking some punishment. I ain't gonna lie to you. And Curtis's level of physicality was there. South Shore, they weren't able to match it, And you can have all the skilled players in the world, but you need to be able to match that level of physicality. So huge shout out to Cyrus, 6 tackles, game breaker.
and D tackle.
Saquon Lawton, like I said, just talking about him for a while. Nick Mook, 96 yards. Quadair, 72 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Crazy.
This backfield has just been hitting their stride at like the best time. And that's what has them in the championship game, man. Mac, final words on this one?
Yeah, man. I just you said something earlier about how many points Curtis gave up against Tottenville and Erasmus the last time they played, and they only gave up 7 points. So for the people that love when the band starts to play and the oohs and the ahs, I don't think this is going to happen in this game. When I say this game, I mean the Curtis and Erasmus game.
Jared, final thoughts on Curtis South Shore?
Yeah, here's one stat that I guess can really sum it up. Curtis sacked the quarterback 8 times.
What? God,
yeah. 8 sacks and
crazy.
A ton of pressures as well, forcing incompletion. So, yeah.
8. I didn't even look at that stat. Sacks.
Yeah, I was like,
man,
wow.
Derek Batista had 3 himself.
Yeah,
Anthony had 3 himself.
Mm-hmm. They were tearing up. That's why I was like, man, we got to talk about number 30, Derek Batista, more. And wow, he had a game. So I'm excited to see what he does in the championship.
Absolutely. And last, I didn't say much about South Shore. I would also like to give my flowers to the entire South Shore staff. What you guys did this season is nothing but incredible. Of course, there are jokes your way. If you live by the sword, you must die by the sword. But it's all love, honestly. Maybe it's not love between the players, but they're human. They're athletes. You know what I'm saying? But at least for me as a media person, it's been a pleasure covering you guys all year long. And let's be honest, like South Shore has uplifted everyone. They've uplifted this whole league. Love them or hate them, you clicked, you watched. I got the stats, so I know. So,
yeah, man.
Huge shout out to South Shore jumping from the 2A to the 4A. Not only going undefeated in the regular season, knocking off Abraham Lincoln in Coney Island, something that hasn't been done in the playoffs since 2007. Nick rewrote the record books. Rich Perkins rewrote the record books. Tajay Schulters, freaking ood and odd, everybody. And also, one last shout out is to Daniel Germain and to Jameer Dockery, because I thought that those kids were really putting their head in and making a lot of tackles. boy, Quadera Nick run hard, man. That's like the main thing I noticed from TYJ's video, and I think it's better when you're watching film on the floor. I feel like you can kind of see the physicality better than from the broadcast view, honestly. And whoa, Quadera runs
for
hard as
sure.
hell, and Dockery is not like a that big of a player, honestly. And I think Quadera is bigger than Doc. Doc is number 40. If you guys don't know,
Yeah, he's great.
he's an undersized defensive lineman. My guy E, what's the word? I didn't say hi to you. My fault.
What
What's
up,
up,
Coach?
E? Of course, we're about to get into that right.
Hey,
About
what
to
up?
get into that right now. But yeah, huge shout out to Coach Legree and everyone on that South Shore staff for sure. And and the castle is a tough place to play. Many of dreams
Yeah.
have come to die at the castle. Let's just say that. So y'all not the first. It's not gonna be the last. All right, y'all. It's time for a PSAL 4A championship. We've seen this one before. Curtis versus E-Hall. The last time E-Hall were not champions of the PSAL, it was Curtis. Shout out to Quincy. Quincy was the quarterback for Curtis. I'm pretty sure they were undefeated that year as well. Someone tell me Quincy's last name? I actually don't know.
Barnes?
You know Quincy Mack? He was Curtis's old quarterback.
Quincy Barnes.
Barnes?
Yeah.
Word. And his receiver was Ahmed? Ahmad. No, his receiver was Ahmad. Coach, why are you spoiling the show, man? How are you spoiling it? All right, Coach, we're gonna hold on to that. We're gonna hold on to that, Coach. You're not gonna derail this whole conversation.
Entering the chat with violence, man. Wow. Dre, why don't you put that on the screen?
Because I would like to move on with this show in a orderly fashion and not allow people to derail it.
Where's Hector?
I don't think he's
where is Hector?
Yeah,
where is Hector? Yo, you can't duck wreck.
Yeah,
you can't duck wreck, man.
Yeah. You
hold on, Mac. Before we continue, me and Jared both gave our apologies to Brooklyn Tech. Can you apologize to them, please?
Oh, wow. I have to apologize to Brooklyn Tech. Wow.
Max.
Wow. That was what a win. I didn't see that coming at all. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't see. Coach Jones was in here. Oh man.
What's wrong with you, bro?
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Yo, listen, man. I'm not sure. What. I have to tread
We'll get into it more in detail, but give your apology. Just give your apology, because I want to do it while there's a lot of people in here, because people come in here and they say, I'm walking out of E-Hall, out of Sid Luckman, and someone actually even walked up to me and said, Fort Hamilton beat Lincoln in the 2025 playoffs at Lincoln. Oh, so did I get bad information? Okay, sorry. If I got bad information, I got bad information. My fault. Yeah, someone walked up to me and was like, "Oh, you guys don't talk about the E-Hall players." I'm like, "We talk about them all the time." But Brooklyn Tech, for real, like, we really don't talk about them enough, actually. So, get into this one. Wow. So, Jared, I'll throw you under the bus first, man. I mean, this matchup, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Yeah.
I guess it kind of is gonna force you to predict, so my fault, but this game is played 10 times. How many does Curtis win? How many does E-Hall win?
I mean, since I'm gonna be commentating and working for Sage Media,
nice, Jared. I'm using the same thing.
I'm gonna have to go 5 and
yes.
5. But
Nice.
although being serious, like this, honestly, like at least going back the past couple years, I think it's the most even championship game that we've had in the past couple years, at least from my recollection. So I'll say that. That's for sure. You know, I didn't think, and listen, like no disrespect to that. I think it was Canarsie and Tottenville the last 2 years that fell to E Hall. At least for me, going into those two games, I didn't see E Hall, like I was like E Hall's gonna find a way regardless.
Really agree.
This game, it could get interesting for sure. So that's what I'll leave it at. I think Curtis has a better chance of, you know, getting in the way of Erasmus Hall than Canarsie did last year. And I thought Tottenville was just a little bit too young last season. So, and it like clearly they had a better chance this year. Like they were closer. They were, you know, an inch away basically.
Yeah, I want to piggyback off of what Jared said. Since I'll be commentating this Sunday at the 1A and 4A games, I don't want to sound biased. So unfortunately tonight I cannot predict who I think is going to win this football game. Or what I would say is that Curtis has only given up 7 points the last time these two have met. They only gave up 7 points against Tottenville, which is probably the most dynamic offense in the 4A. I think that's safe to say. So yeah, I think it's definitely going to. It's gonna. If Erasmus can stop the run, which I think they can, got the best defense on the PSAL. Curtis Warriors.
Curtis, yeah.
Yeah, Curtis Warriors. Erasmus can stop their run. I think we're going to have a game. I think this is going to be a game regardless. I don't think it's going to get out of hand. But yeah, it's definitely going to start and end in the trenches. And I think both sides have some dogs. So this should be interesting to see. Coach Edmond, who do you have winning this game, man? You know, I would like to hear. I'd like to hear your thoughts, man.
Man. So yeah, I'll put this on the screen again. You know, this is like this is the big question, right?
For sure.
If we go stat by stat, I mean it's Curtis, right?
Yes.
You know, if we stat wise, it's Curtis. Using your eyes, it's Curtis.
I don't think it's so. Even by the stats, I don't even think it's close.
I think it's close. I mean, this game. I understand the Tottenville game blows it open, but
Yeah, that's what I was
it's close.
kind of leaning on. Giving up 40. Coach E, you crazy, man. Giving up 40 to Tottenville when Curtis kept them under 10, super impressive. Super impressive.
So I just want to talk about that point in the matchup, right? The 40 points against E Hall, I want to say is a wash when it comes to Curtis because I don't believe Curtis have the personnel to test to affect E Hall the way Tottenville did. E Hall clearly has a large weakness, and it's speed. Clearly, I was utterly shocked on how big of an impact Cory Brown was. Like, I knew how good of a player this kid was, of course.
Mm-hmm.
What he did on Saturday was that's why I'm saying Wake Forest need to give my man a call because that's what Like when you watch a Division One player, if someone says, "Yeah, I watched this Division One player play in high school," like that's what he's supposed to look like. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what he's supposed to look like. He's supposed to have performances that say, "Holy crap!" Right? Um, I definitely think Quaidare and Nick are. Yeah, I definitely think Quaidare and Nick are tremendous backs, but I don't know if they have the qualities to hurt E-Hall the way the backs for Tottenville have. So I want to say that 40 is, I don't know how relevant it's going to be. What I will tell you though is Curtis definitely have very, very dangerous players on the outsides. I know the stats don't say it, but I'm gonna say this again. I brought him up in multiple chats and on here before. All Evan Dukes does is make big plays, man. He's a high IQ player, and every time you look up, he's making a big play. Whether it's a punt return, a long catch, he's defending the best player on defense. So I'm sure him and Lyric are going to be lined up next to each other. He's a tremendous player, so I'm going to be curious to see how E-Hall match up with that. Um, and I'm gonna flip it to Jared. Let's talk about it on the other side. How do you feel Curtis's defense matches up with E-Hall's offense?
Man, I mean, you go off that last time they played, they match up pretty good, but clearly Erasmus Hall has made some adjustments offensively. Amir Maro has been incredible. So now it gets interesting. I mean, listen, because I look at this Curtis defense, and all season they've proven it against every single PSAL team. The most amount of points they've let up this year was to Clinton, 16 points, and I almost positive their starters weren't even in the game for that. So they've been locked down. Like no one has been able to score against them. I have to say I feel pretty good about Curtis's defense in this matchup. Yeah, just like and what they did last week in South Shore. I know Erasmus Hall's a little bit stronger up front, 100%, but I mean, yeah, Curtis, they just looked really, really good in the trenches defensively. So I think they match up well, but you're going against big time Amir. We saw it last postseason. We're seeing it this postseason. Justice Murray has really found his stride too, so that's a little bit dangerous. So I think it is. Listen, I'm confident Curtis, but it is a whole new ball game, and this E-Hall offense is looking at their best right now. I think it could just straight up go either way, and that's honestly what makes this championship so awesome this year. Is there's a chance Curtis completely shuts down Erasmus Hall, and it's like, yep, this is one of the best front sevens that we've seen recently, and it's insane, and one of the best defenses as a whole. Or E-Hall's offense could do something like last week, and it's like, yep, Erasmus Hall, there they are. Truly incredible, all these amazing weapons, and don't forget, they still have, Lyric Samuel and a ton of great receivers as well. So let's not forget that too. So that's a whole other aspect of it. It's yeah, it could go into so many different directions, and that's what's great. But it all starts up with Erasmus Hall's offensive line. Will they be able to be successful? That's honestly the story here. If they're successful, then things get really interesting. If they're not, then it's going to be a continued theme for Curtis.
I'm going to ask you guys: does being the weather being 36 degrees being the high for the day,
Ooh,
does that play any factor into this game? I asked that because I think both of these teams are run first.
yeah.
So does the weather matter?
Yeah, I personally don't think it plays too much of a factor into it, especially the profile of running backs that Nick and Quaidare are. Like they just
Mm-hmm.
seem very, very dependable. You know, hitting hitting the gaps in between the tackles, one cut, get up the field kind of backs. Same thing with Amir, big, strong guy. So I don't think the weather will play too much of a factor. My guy Hector, man,
You made it. I was wrong.
Oh man,
appreciate you showing up, my guy.
Not APR in the chat in all lower font. Not
Yeah,
that. Yeah, come on,
Hey,
man.
come on, it's a sensitive time, man.
Come
on, man.
Hector. Put it in caps. At least put APR in caps, man.
Yeah. So this is something. Sorry, I didn't want to. Jared, your thoughts on the weather, real quick? Do you think it's gonna play a factor?
not as big as it would for some other teams, like say South Shore made it to the championship.
Right.
I just don't think it's as big. And also, like I've been seeing, 36 is pretty low, but some quarterbacks be able to gut through it and make some plays.
Yeah.
But I think regardless in this one, Curtis again, and it's not supposed to rain, is it?
No.
No.
Okay, so
please no. Lord of mercy, you scared me.
Yeah.
I know. Please no rain. Please no rain.
Yo,
so yeah, I
please.
think that honestly would have that of course obviously would have had more of a factor, but no, I think it should be fine, especially with how these two teams operate, and I think I think all the quarterbacks that'll play in this game will make throws they're supposed to make, but it won't be pass heavy.
And just to talk about this, what Danny brought up, the Curtis offensive line, and there's an elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is Kamarion Thomas. Kamarion Thomas did not play in the first matchup. And this is going to be the biggest test for Curtis all season long.
Mm-hmm.
When I was watching that offensive line against South Shore, they were resetting the line of scrimmage. If the line of scrimmage was on 35, after the play was snapped, the line of scrimmage was on the 37. You know what I'm saying? Like it was that kind of game for the Curtis offensive line, and they are absolutely tremendous. This will be the biggest test for them, just as Jared Sarate is just such a monster in the middle, wreaking havoc. Kamarion has the same opportunity to do that, and we've seen him do that in many of matchups. So it is going to be quite the test for Curtis. I definitely think they're up for it. Talking about, I know before I said that, the Curtis running backs don't have the attributes like that the Tottenville running backs have. The attribute that they have though is toughness. I just looked it up, 77 yards for Quadair. What this game's going to bring. And Mac brought up the weather. It's going to be cold. Those hits are going to sting more. But a back like Quadair is definitely what you could use in this scenario for sure. Like I said, 77 yards against E-Hall is, if you take out last week, 77 versus E-Hall is pretty tremendous. So it's going to be big on Quadair to try to repeat that, him and Nick. And this is a very good point. I definitely thought Vinny did a great job as well. Don't fall asleep. We're about to get into the 3A. I definitely thought Vinny did a great job filling in for Mr. Caratelli. But we'll see how Ant holds up in this game. I got a lot of faith in Ant. I thought he was I thought he's been tremendous every time I've seen Ant play. It's a player I rate a lot. I know Jared said this earlier, like the sophomore class is so good. And he's definitely one of those players. So I guess we won't hold our predictions. We won't say our predictions since we're being politically correct today. But if you look at the last one, we did, we put out a whole bracket a couple weeks ago. So do your homework. Final words on, man, the next time we show up, man,
Crazy.
there's going to be a champion, man. So last words on the 4A.
Well, I just realized Caratelli, I totally forgot Caratelli didn't play in that first game. Totally forgot. Wow. Versus kickers on fan message. For the record. Yeah, Coach E. Yeah, we can't make a pick. I'll be on IG Live, or and we can discuss there at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Yeah, man. So just awesome stuff. So I don't have any cool graphics for the other guys. The other divisions they are in the works, so definitely look out on Instagram for that. But it is time for the 3A. APR, you are called to the stand.
Oh man.
And honestly, all of us are called to the stand because we all did not pick this game right. 28-20,
Good game.
Brooklyn Tech over APR to book their ticket for. So hopefully this is right. I saw this on the internet, so who knows? It's the internet, but it is Brooklyn Tech's first visit to a championship game since 1972, apparently.
Damn.
Wow.
Oh man.
That's impressive.
The alumni better come out for this one, man. Wow.
Absolutely. And this game is at 1 p.m., so y'all
Yeah,
have
you got
time.
time. Yeah, you got time. You got time.
Oh, look, another game without stats. Isn't that
Yep.
great?
I was literally just gonna say that,
Wow.
unfortunately. Which
But
that's annoying. That's really annoying. But
Hector, huge shout out to Hector, man, just because, huge supporter in the chat. Definitely pop out on us if you come to Old Boys and Girls, or if you come to Midwood, definitely pop out, man. I know it didn't end the way you wanted it to, but you're not ducking no wreck. So of course we respect that. So man, 28-20. Mac, just your first thoughts when you saw that final.
I was shocked, man. I thought APR had made a late adjustment and
Oh, God.
damn,
I'm sorry.
6 fumbles. Jeez Louise.
And it was only
Wow.
28-20?
That's crazy.
wow.
That's the craziest stat.
Wow.
That's crazy. Yeah, I thought APR made an adjustment late the last game, the game before this one when they played Tech. So I thought definitely, yeah, they were gonna, come out victorious because they had the blueprint. Tech must have, I don't know, the kids 6 fumbles. That means Tech's defense really came to play. That's all I can really say about this score, and Hector putting the 6 fumbles here. APR recovered 4 times. Oh.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask if they lost.
Yeah, I was about to say this should have been like a
50-6,
like 6 fumbles. So APR recovered 4 times.
Makes more sense.
All right, so
I get Hector's point about the sloppiness.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you fumbling the ball around, it's still, it's still kind of
for sure.
Puts a damper on the offense. But shout out to Tech for coming in and making a championship appearance in I don't know how many years. You said 1950. What did you say?
1972. Could someone from Tech confirm that? I saw it on a Tech social media. So hopefully that's correct.
That's crazy, man. Alumni from 72 to last year better be at that game.
Yeah.
Luckily, you guys have the 1 o'clock slot. So, get there by 12, mix and mingle, and support this current Brooklyn Tech team, man, because they deserve it.
Yeah, all right. So they're confirming. Wow.
It's crazy, man.
That is tremendous.
72.
And
wow.
Wow.
Can we say that? I don't understand that. Gamble at least one.
Gamble had 1 touchdown the entire game, had like over 100 yards, and he had a pick on the first play of the game.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at the box score. It was 14-14 going into the fourth quarter. And, Tech scored, one extra touchdown. Tech scored two touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and APR only scored one.
Wow.
So it's one of those things where we spoke about one thing we have given Tech respect for or season long was their defense. We've said, from this film we've seen that their defense has been tremendous, swarming to the ball and everything like that. And I talk about some of my favorite programs. Tech is definitely on that list. I know I saw them play in 2019, I want to say, and it wasn't good football. Like, how else could I say that? It was not good football. And to see them in a championship game now, just 5 years later, is tremendous, man. And hey, and it's crazy how they felt like we almost labeled them underdogs coming into a matchup where they won the first time, and now they're at
Yeah.
home, but they shut us the hell up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you gotta do. Like, listen, we are here to talk. It's y'all job to shut us up, man. And when y'all do, we come on here, give y'all flowers. You know what I'm saying? That's how this works. So huge shout out to Tech. And just on the APR side of it, you guys wanna I know, we are, we do rate APR highly. Um,
Yeah.
you guys just want to talk about the APR side of it, Travis Gamble's and those tremendous players over there.
Yeah, I'm shocked, man. I mean, they still put up 20 points, so APR did what they had to do offensively. It's crazy. APR did what they had to do offensively. I think APR is going to be back. They have a fairly young team. Quarterback is young. Travis is coming back. I think they'll be good moving forward.
Yeah, APR. Well, actually, first off, it's super funny. I did actually see something on Twitter. If there's any tech guys in the chat, please correct me if I'm wrong or if I'm right. I think one of Brooklyn Tech's touchdowns came on like their defense swarming the ball, force a fumble, and then they brought it all the way back to the house. I think it was a fumble return for a touchdown. Which is impressive, with Tech defense being able to score in that situation. And I'm also, they blocked the field goal. Yeah. But the other thing that I was gonna say, I didn't think they're gonna be able to do it twice. Beating APR twice is not easy. Not many teams can do it. So, gotta give them credit where credit's due. And Brooklyn Tech, man, they're putting it together, but they got a challenge on their hands coming up.
Absolutely, we're gonna get into that. So there's quite a bit in here I just want to reference. So again, yeah, just talking about blocking that field goal, and it's incredible that the Tech players, scholars, just like you were saying,
Oh, so it was
we're
right.
always
Yeah. Sorry.
yeah, we're always academics first for sure. If you're not going to class, please don't waste our time. Don't waste our time. Don't waste your coach's time if you're not going to class. Um, but yeah, when you say we need to see the games with our own eyes, like I agree, and I would love to. I know Tech has been doing a better job with live streaming, and that's why it's really important. Am I selling ourselves? Yes, I am. Sorry, but yes, that's why it's important to support. Move the Change, Jared Uzzi Sports, Sage Media Solutions. Because we want to cover everyone. I promise you, we want to cover everyone. We stay on here Monday for 3 hours just to give everybody their credit. You know what I'm saying? So we would like to, but we started something really great this season with this podcast, with the Game of the Week series, and we're really hoping it grows, but it can only grow with your support. So if we have more support, more numbers, we can get more people out to the games to watch them. Because I was only able to pick one game from the 3A to have a cheap plug. It's not even a cheap plug. I'm being very honest with this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely support us so we can grow the series more. For real. Trying to catch up on some of the comments. All right. Any last words on this?
Nah, man, looking to see Tech play for the first time this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats to APR, especially those seniors, of course. I think I speak for all of us on that. Good season. Unfortunately, didn't go the way they wanted to, but man, Brooklyn Tech, and that's the other thing. I am so excited to actually, be able to sit down and watch an entire Brooklyn Tech football game from start to finish on a big stage against a really good team. So that's gonna be fun, and I can't wait to see because Brooklyn Tech's defense, they fly to the ball. I've seen Asani Lowe and his teammates just dominate, and now they're going against a really, really good offense that can also pass it really well. So we'll see.
Yeah. And the last thing I want to say is, to the APR guys, I think I've out of all of us, oh yeah, love. You already know, Hector. Love, love, love.
Absolutely.
I think I've been the most negative out of the three of us on APR, because of what I value in football. Um, you know, and I think it's a really good place to start building. Like the championship run starts now, right? So, I know some seniors are gone, but you have some tremendous pieces back. You know, this is a great foundation to build on. You know, in these leagues, I really feel like the quality of football is really increasing, and I do feel like you need balance in your team. That is what I believe. Um, so you have to work on having more balance. I know there are some programs that are very focused. There's JFK that's been in the top division for years, and they run their offense. But I just have a feeling you're going to see JFK look different in these next couple of years because I think they understand where the quality is going. So I think you guys have some tremendous players, and I think the future is bright for you. And of course, Coach Perlow's love. You already know. I think you'll have those boys ready to go next year. So shout out to y'all, man. So 38-22, the number one seed, Fort Hamilton, book their ticket in I'd say pretty dominating fashion. Now, I want to read off one stat line for you. There's a couple stat lines I want to read off. Boy, I did speak to Coach. Funny enough, by the way, we are starting a new podcast. It's going to be called New York Volleyball Talks because I was commentating volleyball
Oh,
all day Sunday.
That's great.
volleyball's fun, isn't
Commentated
it? Isn't it fun to
like
commentate?
volleyball's awesome, yo.
So much fun. Yeah, I do it. I do it in Boston. I have a blast. Gets
Oh,
so
really?
intense.
Up in school?
Yeah. I do it for MIT actually, when I can. So a
Wow,
lot of
that's
fun.
fire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah. So I ran into the coach for him on Sunday. We're just chopping it up, and he told me about Aiden Farley, and now I'm seeing this stat line: 13 for 18, 218 yards and 4 touchdowns. This is oh damn, Mac just went out. All right, hopefully Mac comes back. I was just about to pull him in. Oh
there he
yeah, there he
is.
is.
There he is. Yeah, there's that man.
Mac, Aiden was in the Rising Star game, right?
Yeah, Aiden and
Okay,
Timothy.
I want to mix. Yes. So just talk about Aiden because you see the stats. I really have his performance in the second half of that APR game seared into my mind. How good he was in that second half. Just talk about Aiden, just second leading passer in the whole PSAL, man.
Yo, Aiden has been having a tremendous season, man, and it's great to see Fort Hamilton kind of sticking to their plan throughout the years. Like Fort Hamilton has always been a school that is going to throw the ball. They've had great backs in the past, but they've always, had a solid pass game. Aiden has been doing an amazing job this season, throwing the ball around, getting it to his guys. We saw it last spring. when he played in the Rising Stars game. He's a tremendous kid, super coachable. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing him play this weekend against a Tech's defense that everyone is saying is really good. That's going to be great to see.
Jared, just Aiden Farley.
Yeah, I mean, he just brings an element to the 3A that just not a lot of teams have. He's a very, very good quarterback. He puts pressure on the defense in a variety of ways, and he's just been producing. He's been finding a bunch of different receivers, and it's really impressive. He also has a great size as well, so that of course always helps. And yeah, Farley's been a beast, and I don't think Truman saw that type of offense, especially balance wise, and someone of the caliber of Aiden Farley to this point. And yeah, Farley did his thing, and Fort Hamilton was able to cruise.
Yeah, and I'm catching up on the comments. Somebody mentioned something about us, like, "Oh, I can't believe you thought that." Oh, there you go. Y'all downplayed Fort Hamilton. Listen, I will always admit when I'm wrong, brother. My brother in Christ. When did we downplay Fort
Yeah, we
Hamilton?
never
What are you
said
talking about?
We all picked Fort. I mean, I think we were saying, oh, Truman might be able to have success running the ball.
If we downplay
but we
anyone, we
picked
downplay
Fort.
Truman.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all said last week, like, we were like, yo, I'm so my brother. One player on Truman ran for 270 yards last week.
Yeah, crazy.
Yo, man. I mean, yeah, like I said, we we try to show everybody love here. And another player that we show love to, Harold Marshall III, man. Harold Marshall III is tremendous, man.
Yeah, we're really good.
So his stat line, did he not have a stat line here? Oh, here we go. Oh, 15 attempts, 123 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And my favorite thing about Harold's game, 3 catches, 56 yards. He'd be nice to have in your fantasy team, man. This
Yeah.
would be a good, like round 4, kind of round 5 pick or something like that, right? Oh man, Harold Marshall is one of my favorite players in this league. Like, I have to be completely honest with you, man. He's one of my favorite players in this league because, especially, he's just a modern football player. You have to be able to do it all. You have to have nice hands. You have to be able to run hard. I think he's, tall guy. I think he's like 6 foot, 6'1", something like that. Physical running back. And not only does he have the physicality, like I said, he goes up and gets it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they throw a ball up and he's gonna go get it. And this is a running back coming out the backfield. Like, that's some tremendous stuff. So you guys just talk about Harold Marshall.
He's amazing, man. Another kid that's only a sophomore, got 2 more years of high school football left. I can't wait to see him in person. So a lot of these
It's your time to shine. Matt gonna be there.
Yeah, a lot of these kids I haven't seen in person. So this weekend is definitely going to be super entertaining to see how these kids play, see how they compete. They're going to be on a big stage. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a good amount of people in attendance watching physically and watching the Sage Media stream. Probably the biggest platform that some of these kids is going to play on up to date. So yeah, man, I'm definitely excited to see what this looks like.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah,
yeah. Sorry about that, but yeah, excuse me, Harold Marshall, stud for sure. He's another game-changing player for Fort Hamilton, and he's very versatile. Big and athletic. Yeah, DeVay Saunders, coach Ed. He's a superstar. And speaking of DeVay and this Truman offense that has been electric this season, They were down 38-14 going into the fourth quarter against Fort Hamilton. So that Fort defense stepped up, and they were actually able to contain a really good Truman offense. That, listen, I didn't like I was definitely thinking Fort Hamilton was going to win this game, but clearly their defense came to play, and that was always really impressive. So now we get a very exciting matchup where a lot of people are excited about this Fort Ham offense, and a ton of people are excited about this Brooklyn Tech defense. So something's got to give here. Something's got to give.
Yeah. And huge shout out to the Porter brothers. August Porter caught 3 touchdowns.
Wow.
These Porter brothers are really, really good. And of course, Aiden Farley is finding them. I just want to get back to it so I can see it. Yes. So yeah, August Porter, 6 catches, 78 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Aiden Porter, 1 catch for 61 yards. So it's tremendous, tremendous play. And to close it out, I just want to give a huge shout out to Harry Truman. Huge shout out to Truman. They're almost kind of like the South Shore of the 3A in a way. A team with a lower strength of schedule, going undefeated. Everyone's saying me, Mac, and Jared not giving them the love that they deserve. We kept saying, "Oh, let's wait until the Battle of the North." Oh, okay, they're playing Lane. Let's see how they play. And they did it, man. They did it in excellent style. I mean, Mr. Saunders with 270 yards in that Lane game put himself on the MAC. I think, is he an underclassman? I need to find that quick.
Who?
Is Saunders an underclassman?
No, he's a senior. He's a senior.
He's a senior. Okay. I think the quarterback is an underclassman, though. He was number 33,
Siobhan?
right?
Yeah, I think it's Siobhan. Yeah, he might be an underclassman. That's big for
Yeah,
Truman.
Siobhan Richardson is a junior. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's good for them.
So absolute tremendous player. And we've been previewing in a bit the Brooklyn Tech Fort Ham matchup. Let me go see when they previous played. They played. Okay, so they played at the end of October. I'm pretty sure this is rivalry week. Yeah, this was rivalry week, I'm pretty sure. And Fort Hamilton won 24-21 at home.
Wow.
And it was a back and forth affair with Fort Ham scoring 12 in the first quarter, Brooklyn Tech 14. Oh, Brooklyn Tech then went up 21-12. And then it was a late rally from Fort Hamilton to come back and win this one. So I've seen someone in the chat talking a lot saying that, don't sleep on Brooklyn Tech. We definitely can't sleep on them in this matchup. Michael, sorry, I might say this wrong, but Michael Jung had 137 yards passing and a touchdown for Brooklyn Tech. Oh, they held Harold Whoa. Let's talk about this, guys. They held Harold Marshall to 33 rushing yards.
Wow.
That's kind of. I see. Okay, all right. So WHW, respect in the chat because you told me to look at the WHW said that if you watch the game, Brooklyn Tech 100% should have won that first matchup.
Interesting.
Sorry, I thought you were going to say something, Jared.
No, I was just saying it was interesting. I mean, you go first, and then I'll get in there.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say that it's looking at where this game was in the calendar, though. Was this after? So this was okay. So this is still in the middle of the season. Actually, no, it was late in the season. Actually, kind of like right smack dab in the middle. I do think Fort Hamilton has gotten better, especially when you look at these point totals. They scored 24 in that game, but the next 4 games, they scored 36, 36, 35, and 38. So, Mac, when I tell you that, Harold Marshall was held to 33 yards, like, does that sway what you think in the matchup at all?
Yo, that's going to be interesting. I mean, that just means that Aiden Farley was letting it rip.
What?
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I think Aiden Farley is going to play well. I think Harold Marshall is going to have a solid game. Like I said, I got to see Brooklyn Tech's defense in person to see like what they really got going on.
Yeah, I want to see their secondary as well.
That too.
Yeah. So that's gonna be fun because it's like definitely a big reason why they won. Like Fort Hamilton didn't have a lot of success on the ground, but Aiden Farley played really well, and he found 7 different receivers for some catches, and they played really well. So that was impressive. That was impressive.
Yeah, so I am like really hyped for this game now after seeing how close that was. It's saying that Brooklyn Tech fumbled the ball while trying to run the clock out. I am ecstatic for this rematch now. And again, just huge shout out to Brooklyn Tech, a team that we have not spoken enough about, and they made it all the way to the championship. Fort Hamilton, you guys are the 1 seed. It's a big spot for both teams. Sage Media is going to be there. LJ is going to be there. This is Mac going to be there, or at least watch. Or wait, can you pull up on Saturday or only Sunday, Mac?
Saturday, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay.
I got to find out some travel plans. Sunday, of course, I'll be there at 8 a.m. Okay. But yeah, Saturday, if I'm not able to be there physically, I'll definitely be watching the stream. Josh, definitely. I'm definitely going to be watching you guys.
Jared, any final words on this one?
Man, this one, like, I'm just so happy with these championship games. How it's so even. Like, it could go either way.
Yes.
Like, it's truly just amazing. So yeah, I can't wait for this one. I'm gonna watch it from start to finish. And next week is honestly the rest I have to say is next week's gonna be a lot of fun for when we break this one down, and we're really gonna get into it. It's gonna be good.
No, for real. So now it's time for the two-way talk.
Yup.
The rematch that almost did not happen because Springfield tried to
Springfield.
ruin the party, but it is a rematch. Can we call him Sheepshead Bay yet?
I don't know. Not yet. Probably not
FJM. It's FJM. It's Eagle 3 in the rematch. Guys in the chat, please chill. It's FJM and Eagle 3 in the rematch. Of course, I have to give it to Mac first, man. What do you think about this matchup, this rematch, man?
yet. This is going to be a game. It's going to be a Elijah, relax. Jesus.
Yeah, we got you. Like, we just got it.
Like, they having demands.
Oh, I guess you guys can predict this one. You guys aren't calling it. What do you guys think?
3-8 prediction?
Yeah.
3-8 prediction. I would have to go with I'm gonna go with Fort Ham.
Cyrus?
God, it's really hard to bet against Aiden Farley and Harold Marshall, but I think I'm gonna do it. I think Brooklyn Tech seniors and their defense is the real deal. They beat APR twice. It kind of feels like it's their year.
Oh, that's tough. Yeah.
They beat Fort Hamilton during the season too, I think.
No, that's what we're talking about. They lost at the end.
They lost a close one.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Brooklyn Tech in a thriller and one to remember.
Yeah, man. So all right. So let's talk about Fort Ham. Excuse me. Let's talk about Oh my God. Let's talk about FJM and the stats for Elijah. Fordham. Oh my God. FJM. Ooh, 27-0 over a Far Rockaway team that I
He had
thought got a
day.
really good win against a good Long Island City team. Let's see. Let's look at Elijah. All right, good game overall for Mr. Haney. Only threw the ball only 4 completions, but 113 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Wow.
Oh, there's my guy Jacob Reed, man. 6 rushes, 78 yards, and a touchdown. Oh, that's why Elijah wanted us to talk about him and look at his stats.
Wow.
Elijah White
Kids
went
are
off.
hilarious.
You went off.
2 receptions, 97 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
They ended the
All right,
game
Mac.
early. Oh my goodness.
Ended what game early?
They ended the semifinal early. That's a thing.
What?
Yeah,
How can that happen? What?
That's terrible. That's terrible.
The semifinal?
It wasn't 57-0. It was 27-0.
Yeah, that's
Nah,
not.
that's crazy, man. What are we talking about here?
Was it because hopefully it wasn't because of injuries. But if they just ended it early because it's 27-0, that'd be really dumb. But wow.
Yeah, I don't like this. This is supposed to be high competitive stuff, man. We can't be mercy rule in the semifinal. What are we talking about?
Yeah, not in the semis.
Oh,
Oh, they're
okay.
saying they're
So it
getting
was
hurt.
injuries.
Oh,
All right,
I
guess they're
understand
going
that.
down.
Though, yeah,
That's what I was like. Hopefully it was injuries, but it was. So that makes sense. Then.
I understand that.
Yeah, I get that for sure.
yeah. So real quick, so I guess we're kind of David. We're kind of going with the theme of if we're commentating the game, we're not gonna give our prediction. I wasn't even expecting that. I honestly was fine with giving picks. Honestly,
Dre,
I guess I should have said.
we get that from you.
Say it again.
We get that from you.
Yeah.
Chad said, "Yeah."
Well, you're right. You're right. But I think like once we kind of open Pandora's box and put out a playoff bracket, I kind of felt like we could say it, and I think that
Oh wow.
I think I'm seeing more in media that people are kind of more okay with the media people being like quote unquote biased. Like look at Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith talks about the Knicks all the time.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I think that's kind of something that we're moving away from. So all right, so I guess I say all that. I can make my pick. I picked Fordham. I'm staying on business. I'm picking Fordham. Them boys is too good. Sorry, I feel like we keep getting distracted. Mac, FJM, Elijah White. Talk about him.
Talk about Elijah White. I think
anyone. Yeah.
I think he's gonna have a solid game. The last time they played Eagle, guys were flying open. It was just some missed throws. I think they have cleaned their passing game up since from the last time we saw them, because we were both at the game actually. I think they cleaned some things up this upcoming game, and they'll have a more balanced attack. I think this game is going to be a lot closer. But this game, going back to the weather that we spoke about earlier, weather may play a factor in this upcoming game. Don't worry, you did. Yeah, so I think throwing the ball in 30-degree weather will be tough. And I know Eagle likes to go man across the ball and stack the box. Muncie.
The show has finally begun. The
Hey,
show has finally
Muncie.
started.
Muncie, go to sleep, man. You got school in the morning. You missed the whole show, buddy. Muncie, just leave, go to sleep. You missed the whole show, buddy. I hope your day went well. Very disappointed in you, Muncie, tonight. We're 2 hours and 13 minutes in, and you're just making an appearance. Wow. And we're talking about the two-way, Muncie, so you know where that leaves you.
Lau couldn't even hit the eye. Muncie, we out.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Oh man.
So yeah, I think the weather plays a factor in this game for FJM as far as them throwing the ball. I know they tried to throw the ball the last time they went up. The weather was a lot better. 30-degree weather. Yeah, definitely going to be tough. Definitely going to be tough, man. I think Eagle 3 is going to stick to their game plan. I think it worked the last time. I think they shouldn't make too many changes. Take deep shots when they can, and then run the ball. So I think this game is definitely going to be a lot more competitive. Can't wait to see this one, man. So this is going to be a good one.
Jared, I know you don't have so much time, so you want to give your, I guess, your overall thoughts on the 2A and especially
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think
FJM right now.
we're predicting this one, right?
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
yeah, I'm gonna throw out my prediction here. Yeah, big win for FJM. I mean, shutout, so defense obviously had to be impressive. Yeah, and Elijah White, huge game, 97 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. I think he's gonna have a great game in the championship. He is an incredible receiver, and he's gonna give Eagle a hard time, especially if they don't send help towards his way. So, I think he has a big game. But what Max said, the weather kind of scares me a little bit. But we'll start out. We'll also go to Eagle side. That Springfield game really surprised me. I know Springfield could play spoiler and they're a good program, but I didn't think it was going to be tied going into the fourth quarter. So that was definitely a shocker to me. But I think Eagle, maybe that kind of put them a little bit back to reality. And going into this one, they have a lot of weapons. Taon Wright, Khalil Esso, Elijah Thompson had 190 yards last game. Yeah, he had on 10 carries. That was extremely impressive. So with the weather, I think Eagle has too many weapons, and it is their year in the 2A. I think they're going to win, but it's going to be closer than it was. I think FGM makes plays. I just don't totally know if they're going to be able to keep up with Eagle. I think Elijah White is a great game. I also think that they're able to run the ball pretty well. I just don't know to what extent. Sissy, that's how you pronounce the last name?
Cisse.
Cisse. Cisse is really good. But he's gonna have to have a big time game. So that's gonna it's gonna be interesting. But Eagle, they've been rolling. I'm gonna pick them here, but I can't wait. Another one that I'm really gonna get to truly watch and break down. It's gonna be fun. But my pick, Eagle 3.
All right, Jerry.
Yeah, so that's it. See you guys next week. It's all the players.
Not even on Sunday, man. On Sunday.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, see all of you on Sunday if you guys are at the game. Yeah, definitely say what's up when when we're not in the box and stuff. And yeah, like I can't wait to meet some of you guys and also call the game for it. It's gonna be really fun. And next week, make sure to tune in. It's gonna be crazy. And yeah, good luck in the championship, fellas, for the ones that are playing. Congrats to the ones that finished their season. Mac, Andre, see you Sunday. Finally, can't wait. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the show. I'll see you guys.
Definitely. All right, Jared.
Yeah. To this one, yeah, I can't agree with you honestly. But everyone's voice could be said. He said that we're not picking based off analysis. So first of all, Sage Media is we are the film people, so we can't be hired to live stream the games. And also, just like I've said before, me and Coach Mac, this is different from Stephen A. Smith talking. We are, men who've invested a lot into, the community and everything like that. So I think we can talk. Pretty sure we can talk, but respect your opinion though. Um, First of all, for my part, talking about FJM, I mean, very impressive in their matchup. It's so interesting because they were very impressive in their matchup. Eagle Queens wasn't as impressive in their matchup, but I personally thought the first matchup wasn't very close, to be completely honest with you. They completely shut down Ahmed Cisse. I understand that they definitely had missed a lot of throws in that game. Um, but I really thought that Eagle Queens was in complete control of that matchup. So it's really going to come down to Mr. Haney, the quarterback for FJM, how he's able to perform in this game. Elijah White had a touchdown in the first Eagle Queens matchup. He's coming off of a hot performance in this matchup with 2 touchdowns for 97 yards. Ticket links. I think the PSAL will
Is it free?
release ticket links later in the week, I think.
I'm not sure if it's free.
Oh yeah, are they free usually? I'm not even sure.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I can't tell you. I think it might be free, or they might release the links later. Not exactly sure. We will get to the 1A. But yeah, man, this matchup, it's hard for me to pick against Eagle Queens because of how dominant they were. So I will stick with my original pick, but you guys are definitely on upset alert after the Eagle Queens performance. I mean, the score was it was 8-8 all the way into the fourth quarter. And definitely shout out to Springfield, a team that came from the 1A, the defending 1A champions. Now they're in the 2A and made it all the way to the Final Four and gave the number 1 seed like they're one of their biggest scares of the entire year. Shout out to, just like Jared was saying, Elijah Thompson, 10 rushes, 190 yards, and 2 touchdowns. With a stat line like that, off of only 10 rushes, a stat line like that, I'm kind of surprised at how close this game was. 2 interceptions for the Eagle Queens defense. I'm gonna stick with my pick, but I don't feel as strong. Mac, what about you, man?
I think Sheepshead wins this one.
Right.
Yeah, I think they bounce back. Like I always say, even before the season started, it's hard to beat a team twice in the same season. Teams have done it. Tech did it. Erasmus did it. So it is possible. It's just tough. It's a tough task. I think adjustments will be made. I think it'll be a lot closer game. But yeah, I got them. I got them winning it.
All right. So now this is maybe probably the craziest bracket out of all 4 of the brackets. The 1A is number 2 Grady. Erica went to bed too early. Number 2 Grady against number 5 Jamaica after upsetting
Wait,
previously
Transit?
undefeated Transit Tech. Now, when Coach Jones called me and told me that Tech lost, I could not believe it. And there are no stats for this game. Jesus Christ.
Wasn't Transit killing everybody? Give me Grady, bro.
Transit was killing everybody.
Yeah.
So I don't have any stats on this game, unfortunately, but Transit was killing everybody. What happened? I don't know, unfortunately. There are no stats, so I can't talk about it. But shout out to Jamaica, man. Who said Queens was down? They got 2 teams in the championship.
Crazy, right?
Man, I mean, it's unfortunate. I just spoke to the Transit staff just the other day when I was at their game, and they were feeling really confident in it. This game was only 12-8 Jamaica.
Wow.
There was no points until the second half. Jamaica scored 6 in the third quarter, and they scored another touchdown in the fourth quarter, and Transit was only able to score 1. Game over. Let me see the previous matchup. Let me see if these 2 teams play. Wow. So Transit and Jamaica was only 8-0 the first time they played.
Coach P is funny, man. Coach P, yeah, man. I'm definitely gonna be watching. Definitely gonna be watching, man. It should be an interesting game. Y'all came out the last game fire, man. But that Springfield game concerns me.
Not for real, but yo, huge shout out to Jamaica. So they played them close, transit close in the first game, and they got their get back on the biggest of stages, man. So Mac, you want to give some love to Jamaica?
Yo, I'm shocked, man. They came out of nowhere. Did Jamaica play transit during the regular season or no?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So Transit only beat Jamaica 8-0 in the first one.
Oh, so it was a dogfight. All right, so yeah, I wasn't even privy to that information. So yeah, I mean, if you think Grady Woody is well, I guess Jamaica is good. I'm guessing. I got Grady winning it. Yeah, I got Grady winning it. This is gonna. I have to do some. Dre, when you get a chance.
I'm trying to read. Yes, I was trying to read this one. Any insights to the format of the championship games? Yeah, so Sunday. Yeah, just like you said, you got it right there. So Sunday is the 4A and the 1A. Saturday is the 2A and the 3A. But I don't think the 2A and the 3A did so bad, honestly. Old Boys Field. I'm not sure if you've been lately, but completely renovated.
Yes,
or the Nest, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it's nice.
Completely renovated. It's going to be a great afternoon for the 2A and the 3A. I'm super excited for it. But yeah, sorry, Mac. What were you saying about Jamaica?
I was saying no. I have to do homework on
Mhm.
both of these teams, man, and find out who's the guy from each side. I kind of want to come into that game with some prior knowledge to who's who. I haven't really been following Grady or Jamaica, to be honest. So I
Yeah,
hope.
I'll get a scouting report for you.
Yeah, please, man, please.
And on the other side, again, a program we've all said it would be great if this program can get back on its feet. 36-0 Grady over Mount Haven. There are no stats for this game. Oh god.
Coaches are busy. Coaches are
But
busy.
huge shout out. Yeah, huge shout out to Grady beating Mount Haven. Let's see if they played earlier in the season. Yes, no, they did not. No, yes, they did. Oh, so Mont Haven beat Grady the first time they played, 12-8. So some get back for Grady. 36-0 on the get back is crazy.
It was coming for war.
No, so that's tremendous. So huge shout out to Grady. I can't really predict this one. I haven't, been able to see so much of the two teams. I think everyone here predicted Transit to roll and
Yeah.
win. I mean, they were undefeated the whole entire season. Fell short, unfortunately, but I know that's a very good coaching staff over there. So I'm sure they'll be back on their feet. I know these things in the playoffs happen. All part of the process. So it will be Grady and Jamaica in that 10 a.m. 1A slot.
Wow. Wow.
So Mac, I think we can call it a show, man. Of course, the headliner for the weekend is going to be the 4A championship between Curtis and E Hall. That is at 1 p.m. Preceding that will be the 1A, just like we said, Grady versus Jamaica. New York football talk will be on the call. Coach Mack, Jared Valluzzi, Andre Johnson, all on the call on Sunday. Super excited for that. And of course, the two-way matchup. It's a rematch between FJM and Eagle 3. That's going to be quite the matchup, man, for real. And of course, in the 3A, Brooklyn Tech versus the Tigers of Fort Hamilton. man, we couldn't ask for much, to end this. We'll talk about it for much more next week, but I think this is one of the greatest, football seasons the PSAL's seen in a long time. I don't know how you argue that. And the next time we come, man, it's gonna be 4 champions crowned, and they'll close the book on the 2024 season. So Mac, just from the Rising Stars game all the way till now, man, just your thoughts.
Nah, man, this is a great season. Definitely an entertaining season. This is a great platform to talk about all of the Coach E, all of the games, all of the kids. We're now down to the finish line. Definitely can't wait till this weekend, man.
Yeah, Monty did listen to two-way talk. That was impressive, Monty. It's the first time for everything. So definitely pull up, Monty. All of us will be at Midwood, your home ground. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, man. So that's all we got for y'all today. Make sure y'all tune in to Sage Media. Again, we have the ad space. If you guys are interested in any kind of marketing your business, definitely send an inquiry. Send you over that ad deck. And of course, do not forget, after the season is powered by Move the Change, the 33rd annual Riley Classic. Is the roster solidified yet?
it will be. What's today? Today's Monday. By Wednesday, the rosters and teams who's playing with who are posted on the Move Change page. That should be fun to look at.
I can't wait for that, man. So listen, we're signing off here, guys. Appreciate y'all. Yo, Monty, I'm gonna be there 7 a.m., man. So,
Woo.
man, I'm gonna be there
Yeah, I know you get
all
it.
day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, man, definitely check us out. The chat won't be open, but definitely come support. Make sure you share out the live stream and all that. Appreciate the love we've had all year long. Only one more episode left until we call it a season, y'all. If you're
Wow.
lucky enough to still be playing, there's no tomorrow. Leave it all out on the field, y'all. Peace.